The alien princess tilted her head and laughed. If that's an offer, I accept. Jason Ford stood on the observation deck of the Starling. He watched the hidden moon grow larger in the view screen. The moon glowed softly against the black sky. This was Selene, a secret moon said to host ancient alien ruins. Humanity needed new allies and new discoveries. Jason and his small team had orders to deliver peaceful gifts and survey the ruins. He felt a mix of excitement and nerves. The Starling was a modest ship. It carried a crew of 10. Jason was captain. He trusted them all. Maya, the engineer, kept the engines running. Lucas, the pilot, guided the Starling through tight asteroid fields. Tara, the medic, cared for any who were hurt. Each team member had a calm air. They had trained for months for this mission. Jason believed in peaceful contact. First dot below them, Selene drifted. It had a pale surface of dust and rock. No signs of life showed in their scans. Jason's team had studied alien reports that said a royal outpost hid here. No one knew why. The aliens built it. Jason tapped a control. Prepare for landing, he said in his simple tone. He joined Maya at the controls. Maya nodded and adjusted power levels. The Starling slowed and dropped through the thin moon atmosphere. Outside, jagged peaks rose like teeth. The ship rocked in patches of thin air. Jason felt the familiar hum under his feet. He checked the sensor readouts. Everything was stable. Then a warning light flickered. Captain, Maya said, I see energy signatures from unknown ships. They are closing fast. Jason's heart jumped. How many? He asked. 5 frigates, small, but armed, Maya replied. Jason frowned. No one told him about hostile forces. He tapped Lucas's comm. Lucas, report. Enemy ships are closing in, Captain, Lucas said. They hail us now, but the signal is masked. Jason stood. Open a channel. I want to hear what they say. Static filled their ears. Then a firm voice spoke. It was deep and foreign. Human ship. Identify yourself, state your purpose, or be destroyed. Jason held the mic. I am Captain Jason of the human vessel Starling. We come in peace to deliver gifts and to seek friendly contact with the Selenian royal house. The reply was cold. Your gifts are worthless. Surrender or die. Jason looked at Maya. Defenses up? Shields on. Stand by. Maya activated defensive protocols. The Starling shields flared in blue arcs on the view screen. Jason turned back to the comm. We do not wish harm. Please allow us to land and speak with your leaders. Another burst of static. Then a new voice spoke, softer. It made Jason freeze. It was female but strange. The tone had a musical quality Jason did not know. Human captain, you speak boldly, she said. But words will not save you, Jason swallowed. I accept that, but offer friendship all the same. The gently mocking laugh came next. Jason heard it through the comm. It sounded like wind and crystal. Halls, very well, the voice said. You may land, but you will give me your gift. Only then will I show you mercy. The frigates peeled away, revealing a small landing field carved into cliffs. The field glowed at the edges with hidden lights. Jason gave the order. Prepare for touchdown. Everyone moved to landing stations. Tara glanced at Jason. What if they refuse our gift? Jason shook his head. We will adapt. Stay ready. The Starling descended gently. Dust rose in pale clouds. Jason and Maya guided it to rest in a carved crater. The ship's thrusters shut off with a soft click. Silence fell. Jason gathered his team in the cargo bay. He handed out small boxes wrapped in shining cloth. Each box held a simple gift, a human token of friendship, a piece of art, a recorded message, small plant samples from Earth. Maya frowned. What if they want something else? Jason studied the crates. We gave what we had. It comes from goodwill. That must count. They marched toward the airlock. Jason led. Lucas and Maya flanked him. Tara carried a sensor device. They moved through narrow corridors of the Starling. The airlock door slid open. Beyond lay the crater, and a single figure waiting. She stood tall on the edge of the landing field. Her skin was pale with a faint cyan glow. Her eyes were large and violet. Her hair fell in silver waves. She wore a form of royal robes that shimmered with patterns. Jason could not read. Jason felt a calm strength from her. He stepped forward and bowed in the simplest human greeting. "Princess Arya of Selene," he said, "I bring gifts from Earth." Arya's lips curved. She tilted her head and laughed softly. "If that is an offer, I accept." Jason's team paused. Her voice was light, but power lay in each word. She gestured to the gifts. 2 alien guards appeared behind her. They were tall and lean. Their armor matched Arya's robes. They raised their weapons but did not fire. Jason opened the first box and offered it. Arya stepped forward and placed her hand on the box. She closed her eyes and inhaled. A faint glow passed between her and the gift. Tara watched the sensors. "Princess is reading their energy signature," she whispered. When Arya opened her eyes, Jason felt a surge of warmth. She nodded and smiled. "It's the first sign of trust," he thought. Arya turned to her guards. She spoke in her musical tongue. One guard took the gift and stowed it carefully. Arya faced Jason again. "Your gift shows you are not simple conquerors," she said, using basic words Jason expected. "You have heart." Jason felt relief. "We wish to learn from you and help each other." Arya studied him. "Then come with me. I will show you the heart of Selene, but be warned, not all will welcome you." Jason nodded and signaled his team to follow. They stepped onto the dust. The air tasted thin but breathable. Jason breathed deeply. Arya led them through a tunnel carved in pale rock. Glowing symbols lined the walls. Jason traced his fingers over them. Some marks seemed alive, as if they pulsed with memory. "Our ancestors built this place in hope," Arya said. "Now rebels seek to destroy our peace." Jason listened. He felt a duty. "We will stand with you if you wish." Arya tilted her head and laughed. Jason smiled in return. He felt that their fates just began to link. Outside the tunnel, a grand chamber opened. Pillars rose to unknown heights. At the center stood a crystal dais. Dust motes swirled in shafts of pale light. Arya motioned for Jason to approach. "This is where my family meets. I will introduce you soon. Prepare yourself." Jason stepped forward and placed a hand on the crystal. It glowed under his palm. A rush of images flashed. Fields of green, stars above Earth, people reaching hands in peace. Jason withdrew his hand. "So many dreams, I feel them." Arya nodded. "Yes, our worlds can share those dreams, but danger is near. Rebels seek to claim this power for war." Jason set his jaw. "Then I will protect it." Arya eyed him. "Do not speak too soon, human. This power is older than you know." Jason felt a spark of challenge. He was ready for whatever came next. As he followed Arya into the chamber's depths, he thought, humanity may have just found a new cause worth fighting for. Jason walked beside Arya in the vast chamber. The stone walls glowed faintly. Light came from crystals set into the walls. The air felt cool and still. Arya led him deeper into the hall. Jason's team followed behind. Tara held the sensor device. Lucas and Maya watched the dark corners. They came to a large doorway. Beyond, outside in the moonlight, lay a courtyard carved from pale rock. Tall pillars rose around it. In the center stood a crystal fountain. Water glowed as it fell. Arya paused before the fountain. She turned to Jason. "This place is called the Heart of Selene," she said. "It is where I feel my people's strength. It also shows our pains." Jason looked at the water. Images flickered inside it. He saw fields, starships, strange cities. Then he saw burning ruins and people running. He gasped. Arya placed a hand on his arm. "These visions show our history. We built this moon to protect our home. Rebels destroyed many of our outposts. They want this power for their war." Jason nodded. "I understand more now. We will help where we can." Arya studied him. "You know little of our magic. It binds with the crystal. It can heal or harm." Maya smiled nervously. "Magic? I thought this was science." Arya looked at Maya. "For me, they are the same. We shape power with our minds." Jason opened his mouth. He wanted to ask more. But a shout came from behind. He turned. One of the alien guards had drawn his weapon. He called out in Arya's language. Arya held up a hand and shushed him. Jason frowned. "What is it?" Arya held his gaze. "It is not safe for you here. The rebels have spies among my people." They knew. "You would come. They want to test your resolve." Jason felt a pang of fear. "How many spies?" Arya closed her eyes. She placed both hands on the fountain's edge. The water glowed brighter. Images formed, several figures moving in the hallways beyond. Jason leaned in. "There are at least 3 spies," Arya said. "They hide in plain sight. One wears my guard's uniform. Another moves among the scholars. The third is silent." Jason stepped back. "We need to find them before they strike." Arya nodded. She closed her eyes again. She saw the spy in the courtyard near a pillar. She pointed. "The first is there. Watch him." Jason signaled to Lucas and Maya. They moved quietly. Into position, Tara stayed with Arya. Jason approached the pillar slowly. The guard under the pillar pretended to polish it. Jason watched his eyes. They flicked to Arya, then to Jason. Jason cleared his throat. "May I assist you?" The guard turned. He smiled tightly. "No need, human. I guard the princess. You are safe." And Jason looked at him. He felt doubt. He reached out and touched the pillar. His hand glowed faintly. Arya had taught him a small spell. He whispered the phrase she had shown him. The crystal in the pillar pulsed. The guard cried out and fell to his knees. His eyes glowed briefly. Jason stepped back. He is controlled by dark intent. Arya knelt and placed her hand on the guard's head. She closed her eyes. A soft light flowed from her hand. The guard's body relaxed. Arya opened her eyes. She sighed. "He is free of the spell, but broken in mind. We must heal him later. He was given orders to kill you." Jason felt sorrow. "We should move on. More may come." Arya stood and led the way through the courtyard. They walked in silence. Shadows shifted at the edges of the light. Stars shone above. Jason felt the weight of the mission. He thought of Earth and its need for allies. At the far end of the courtyard, a tall door barred their path. It was carved with ancient runes. Arya traced her fingers along them. "This door leads to the council room," she said. "My family meets here. They decide our fate. We must enter carefully." Jason nodded. He held out his hand. Arya placed her hand in his. He felt warmth. She closed her eyes. The runes glowed under their hands. The door slid open with a low rumble. Inside lay a circular room. High ceilings arched over them. Seats lined the walls. At the far end sat elders in simple robes. Arya's mother, Queen Sarah, sat at the center. Her hair was white and her gaze steady. Arya curtsied. Jason bowed. The elders watched with calm faces. Maya whispered to Jason. "Are they friendly?" Jason shook his head. "I do not know." Arya stood. She spoke in her language. Then she turned to Jason and spoke slowly in basic words. "These are my people's leaders. They have not met humans. You must show respect." Jason lifted his chin. "I bring peace and friendship. We wish to help you." The queen spoke then. Her voice was soft but clear. "Human captain, you come to our world at a time of great pain. Your gift pleased our child. But you have seen the dark magic here. Why should we trust your kind?" Jason felt fear in his chest. He stepped forward. "Because humans know loss too. We know war and sorrow. We have lost our worlds to conflict. But we learn to heal. We believe that we can heal together." The elders exchanged silent looks. Queen Sarah studied Jason's eyes. Tara watched Jason's face for truth. Arya's lips pressed together. Queen Sarah raised a hand. The room fell silent. She spoke again. "We have one chance to save our home. A rebel force gathers in the old palace. They plan to steal the crystal power and use it to destroy us. If you aid us, you will walk into danger." Jason held the queen's gaze. "I will go." Arya placed her hand on Jason's shoulder. "Thank you, human, but I will go with you." Jason looked at Arya. "I should not ask that of you." Arya shook her head. "We are bound now. I will not let you face this alone." Jason smiled softly. He felt courage bloom. Then we do this together. Queen Sarah leaned forward. You will find allies among us, but trust no one completely. Our pain can make us cruel. Prove your heart, human. Then I will stand with you. Jason bowed. I will prove myself. Arya curtsied. She turned and led Jason from the chamber. Outside, the night wind blew cool. Jason breathed deeply. What now? Lucas asked quietly. Arya looked at Jason. We move to the old palace at dawn. There we will strike the rebels' camp. Jason nodded. And our crew? Arya smiled softly. They will help. Your people are brave. Maya and Lucas will help engineer our plan. Tara will heal the wounded. Jason felt pride. He looked at his team. Each member stood ready. He thought of Earth and its hope. He thought of Arya and her people's dreams. As dawn approached, they prepared. The crystal fountain's light faded. Arya and Jason planned under the pillars. They spoke in simple words of courage and hope. Jason felt his heart steady. He whispered to Arya, Together we will save your world. Arya smiled and tilted her head. She laughed softly. If that is your offer, I accept. Jason stood at the entrance of the old palace as the first light of dawn touched Seleni's pale surface. Beyond the doorway rose tall walls carved with scenes of ancient peace. Moss glimmered on the carvings, soft against the cold stone. Arya stood by his side, her gaze steady. Her hand rested gently on Jason's arm. Tara checked their gear. She adjusted her medkit belt. We are ready, Captain, she said in her calm voice. Jason nodded. Lucas and Maya stood behind him, their faces set with quiet resolve. Arya spoke softly. The rebels gathered in the grand hall. They aim to steal the crystal heart and use it for ruin. We must stop them before they break the seal. Jason swallowed. He thought of the palace's crystal dais, the power it held. He felt a tremor of fear, but he steadied himself. We will stand together, he said, and face whatever comes. Arya smiled faintly. She touched Jason's shoulder. Follow me, stay close. They stepped through the doorway. The corridor beyond was wide and tall. Pillars lined each side. Light from the outside filtered in, casting long shadows. Jason noted the griffin-like statues perched on the pillars. They looked both noble and watchful. These statues watch over the palace, Arya said. They are silent observers of history. Jason ran his fingers along a statue's base. He felt the cold stone, a small rune, glowed faintly at his touch. He blinked, but the glow faded. Danger is near, Arya whispered. We must move quickly. They hurried down the corridor. A soft rumble echoed behind them. Jason spun. 5 rebel fighters charged. Down the hall, weapons raised. Their armor was dark, rough around the edges. They looked fierce. Jason raised his voice. Defend the princess! Lucas darted forward with a stun baton. He struck one rebel across the chest. The man stumbled, then regained balance and swung a blade. Lucas leaped back. Maya activated her energy shield. A soft blue dome appeared around her. She braced as another rebel fired a pulse gun. The blast struck the shield with a crackle. Jason drew his sidearm. He aimed at the leader, a tall figure with scarred armor. He fired. The shot rang through the hall. The leader caught the bullet in his chest and fell. Arya stepped forward. She raised her hand. A soft light emanated from her palm. The remaining rebels froze. Their weapons hovered midair. Leave now, Arya said in her musical voice that still held simple words full of power, or face the crystal's wrath. The rebels exchanged fearful looks. Then they turned and fled back the way they came. Arya lowered her hand. Jason hurried to the fallen leader. Maya and Lucas stood guard. Jason knelt and checked the man. Breath came in ragged gasps. He placed a hand on the rebel's chest. A faint glow passed from his palm. The man calmed, his eyes cleared. Thank you, the man said in a hoarse whisper. He touched Jason's hand. Jason felt sorrow for the rebel who had known only hate. Jason helped him stand. Arya appeared beside them. We must move on, she said. There is no time for more delays. They guided the man down the corridor and left him in a side chamber where Tara would treat him. They continued onward, deeper into the palace. The hall led to a grand staircase. Marble steps curved upward. At the top, the entrance to the grand hall stood open. Ayla of silence fell as they approached. Arya paused. She looked at the steps, then at Jason. "We face them here. Be brave." Jason nodded. He drew a steady breath. Together they climbed the staircase. The echo of their steps filled the hall. At the top, the grand hall opened before them. Sunlight poured through tall windows. At the center stood the crystal heart, floating above a pedestal. It glowed with pale light. Around it, rebels worked with strange machinery, trying to break its seal. Jason's breath caught. The crystal was more beautiful than he remembered. It pulsed like a living star. Arya whispered, "They have not broken the seal yet. We still have a chance." Jason scanned the room. Rebels held tools and weapons. One man aimed a pulse rifle at the crystal. Jason stepped forward. "Stop!" he shouted. "This power is not for you." Rebel leader Rathnal turned. His eyes glowed with dark magic. He smiled cruelly. "Human, you are too late. The seal will fall and our victory will be complete." Rathnal gave a signal. Rebels aimed their weapons at Jason and Arya. Jason glanced at Arya. She raised her hand. A shield formed around them, a bubble of soft light. Maya and Lucas emerged from the stairs with Tara. Tara pointed at the side chambers. "I can help the wounded if anyone needs me," she called. Maya charged at the nearest rebel. Her energy shield flared, and she struck with her baton. Lucas knocked a rifle from another rebel. Arya focused on the crystal. She spoke a word in her native tongue. Light pulsed from her mouth and flowed into the crystal. It glowed brighter. Rathnal shouted in anger. He raised his hands. Dark bolts flew toward Arya. Jason stepped in front of her. He held up his sidearm like a shield. The bolts struck and fizzled. "Stay back," Jason ordered as he fired at Rathnal. The leader ducked behind a pillar. Jason ran toward him. Rathnal lunged with a dagger enchanted with dark energy. Jason blocked with his arm. Pain shot through him, but he pushed forward. Arya stood before the crystal. She placed both hands on it, her eyes closed. Water from the old fountain must have fed this power, Jason thought. She called out, "By the heart of Selene, protect my world." A wave of light burst from the crystal, sweeping across the hall. Rebels cried out as their dark magic was stripped away. Rathnal stumbled, his dagger dropped. Jason stood over him. He held out a hand. "Surrender?" Rathnal looked up. He saw Arya's light and Jason's calm strength. He nodded slowly. Arya opened her eyes. The crystal's glow softened. She turned to Jason. "You were brave." Jason lowered his hand. "We did this together." Outside the hall, Tara treated the wounded rebels and palace guards alike. She moved from one to another, offering words of comfort. Arya walked to Jason at the crystal pedestal. She placed her hand on his arm. "Thank you, human. You saved more than a crystal today. You saved hearts." Jason felt warmth. He looked at the crystal. It glowed steadily, as if content. Queen Ea Sarah and the elders entered the hall, flanked by loyal guards. The palace was safe once more. Queen Sarah spoke in her soft voice. "Jason Ford, human captain, you have proven your heart. You stood with us when darkness threatened. For this, we welcome you as an honored ally." Jason bowed. Arya smiled proudly. "Queen," Sarah continued, "and you, Arya, have shown courage and wisdom. Together you have healed our land. Now we look to the future." Jason looked at Arya. She returned his gaze with a gentle smile. He felt hope for both their worlds. Arya spoke then in basic human words. "Let us build a new peace together." Jason nodded. "Together." And so, under Selene's pale sky, two worlds began to heal. Their stories intertwined by trust and hope. The crystal heart pulsed above them, a beacon of new beginnings. Jason Ford stood on the deck of the Starling as the ship left Selene's orbit. The pale moon faded behind them. Arya's hand rested lightly on his shoulder. She watched the stars ahead, her face set with quiet resolve. Jason knew that next they would reach the rebel stronghold planet, Draven. There, Arya's family was held captive. They needed a plan to rescue them. Maya adjusted the flight controls. We reach Draven in 6 hours, she said. I will prepare our stealth systems. Lucas. Check the navigation charts. Draven's atmosphere is thick and stormy. We will need shields up during entry. Tara approached Jason with a small pack. Medic supplies are ready, she said. I can treat injuries quickly. Jason nodded. Thank you. Arya turned to Jason. Her violet eyes held concern. My mother, Queen Sarah, and the council were taken by the rebels. They hold them in the old fortress. We must be swift. Jason placed a hand over Arya's. We will save them, together. Tara caught his eye. Be careful. The rebels know our power now. They may strike back. Jason let out a steady breath. We have little choice. We must try. The starling soared through darkness. Jason watched the crew. They worked in calm focus. Each knew what was at stake. Jason thought of Earth and its people. He felt pride in his team. Captain, Maya said softly, I have the stealth field ready. We can slip past Draven's patrols. Jason smiled. Good, let's do it. Arya leaned close. Show me where to go once we land. Jason pointed at the screen. A rough map of Draven appeared. A red dot marked the fortress. Jagged mountains rose around it. We land here, Jason said, tracing a path to a valley. We approach at night. The storms will hide us. Arya nodded. She closed her eyes. She touched the screen. Images flashed. Guards on patrol, a locked gate, shadows moving inside the walls. We must avoid the main gate, Arya said. The rebels guard it heavily. There's a secret tunnel beneath the west tower. I saw it long ago. Jason studied the map. That will work. We slip in, find the cell block, and free your family. Then we escape into the forest. Arya's lips curved into a small smile. Your plan is good, human. Jason felt a surge of hope. He turned to his crew. Prepare for landing. We move in 2 hours. Be ready. As the ship glided toward Draven, Jason met with Maya and Lucas in the flight bay. They wore light armor. Jason checked his sidearm and a small pulse rifle. Tara carried medkits and healing devices. Arya carried a simple blade. Made of crystal. Tara spoke quietly. I will stay near Arya in the field. I can heal quickly if needed. Jason nodded. Stay close, Maya. Lucas, you cover our exit. Maya adjusted her vest. We will. Good luck, Captain. Lucas gave a thumbs up. Let's bring them home. Jason felt the weight of command. He looked at Arya. Are you ready? Arya nodded. Her gaze was steady. Yes, for my family. Jason took a deep breath. Then let's go. Outside, Draven's storms raged. Lightning cracked across the sky. A starling slipped through the clouds, unseen. Its shields glowed faintly. At the chosen valley, the crew disembarked. Rain fell in cold sheets. Thunder rolled overhead. Lightning lit the ground in brief flashes. Jason led the group. They moved. Through wet grass, jagged mountains loomed ahead. The fortress gate stood at the valley's end, guarded by towers. Arya pointed to a rocky hill on the left. The tunnel is beneath that tower. We enter there. Jason signaled. Lucas and Maya took watch. Tara held back. Jason and Arya crept closer. Light from torches glowed near the tower. Guards paced by a metal door. Jason studied their pattern. Wait. For my signal, he whispered. Arya closed her eyes. She reached out with her mind. Energy pulsed from her. The tunnel door's lock glowed and clicked open. Jason smiled. Good work now. They slipped inside a narrow passage. The walls glistened with moisture. Jason held his breath. Arya led the way through winding halls. Behind them, the guards did not notice. The rebels had no magic to reveal spies. Jason listened. To Arya's steps, she moved with quiet grace. He followed closely, pulse rifle raised. They came to a fork. Arya pressed her hand against the wall. Light pulsed and showed a path to the west tower. They followed the lit path. Water dripped from the ceiling. The air was cold and stale. At last, they saw a barred door. Beyond, muffled voices spoke in alien tongues. Jason motioned for silence. Arya whispered in her language. Jason did not understand, but her tone was urgent. She touched the door's bars. The lock shone under her touch and opened silently. Jason pushed the door. Inside, cells lined the walls. In the center stood Queen Sarah and council members, bound by energy cuffs that glowed dark red. Arya gasped. She ran forward and knelt by her mother. Mother? Arya cried in simple words. Queen Sarah lifted her head. Arya, she whispered. Tears glistened in her eyes. Jason and Tara moved to free the captives. Tara used a healing device to break the energy cuffs. The light faded and the captives rubbed their wrists. Jason helped Queen Sarah stand. She placed a hand on his arm. Thank you, human. Arya wiped tears from her face. We must leave quickly. Guards will hear. Jason nodded. Maya, Lucas, we need support, now. Outside the tunnel, Maya and Lucas readied their weapons. They marked positions to cover the exit. Inside, Tara led the captives down the narrow hall. Jason followed with Arya and her mother. As they neared the tunnel entrance, alarms blared. Lights flickered. They know we are here, Lucas called out. Jason stepped out and fired a pulse shot at a guard rushing toward them. Lucas and Maya joined him. They used stun batons to disable 2 more guards. Arya stood at the tunnel mouth. She held her blade. A flicker of magic formed at its edge. Jason grabbed Queen Sarah's hand. This way, he said. Follow me. The group dashed into the tunnel. Guards fired behind them. Jason covered with his rifle. Ocks of sound echoed in the passage. Arya closed her eyes. She whispered a word. The tunnel walls glowed softly. They felt lighter, as if the tunnel shrank around them. Jason smiled at Arya. Thank you. They reached the fork. Arya touched the wall and redirected the glow toward the exit. They emerged on the valley floor as lightning lit the sky. Rain pounded around them. Maya and Lucas fired pulse shots at rebels who had followed. Their shields protected the group. Jason ran to Queen Sarah. Are you all right? Queen Sarah steadied herself. I am well, because of you. Arya rushed to her. Sighed. She fell to her knees and hugged her mother. Jason felt relief wash over him. Tara moved among the council members. She checked them for injuries. Lucas and Maya joined them. Lucas smiled. You have your family. Now let's get to safety. Jason helped Queen Sarah toward the Starling. The ship's ramp glowed in green light. Rebels ran toward them across the valley. Jason drew his rifle. Arya stood in front of her mother. She raised her blade. A beam of light shot from it. Rebels in its path fell to the ground, stunned. Jason fired at the rest. Lucas and Maya stood beside him. Together they formed a shield of gunfire and magic. Tara guided the captives up the ramp. Jason saw the last guard fall back. Jason and Arya joined them on the ramp. Jason gave the order. Ramp up, shields on. The ramp slid up. Inside, Tara helped Queen Sarah to a medical berth. Arya stayed by her side. Jason returned to the deck. He put on his captain's headset. Maya, Lucas, you have the deck. Prepare for liftoff. Shields up. All power to engines. Maya's voice crackled. Shields are up, Captain. Engines at full. Lucas added, We clear the valley in 3.2.1. The Starling lifted. Rain cascaded off its hull. The shuttle climbed through the storm. Jason watched. Draven recede. He felt a deep pride and relief. Arya's family was safe. Arya appeared at his side. She placed a hand on his arm. We did it, Jason smiled. Yes, together. Arya's violet eyes met his. She tilted her head and laughed softly. If that is an offer, I accept again. Jason laughed too. He knew more challenges lay ahead. But for now, they had saved her world and her family. And that was enough. The Starling flew through the calm of space. Selene and Draven lay behind them. Inside the ship, the crew moved with quiet relief. Arya's family sat in the med bay. Tara checked their wounds. Queen Sarah's grace had returned. The council. Members spoke softly among themselves. Jason sat with Arya in the observation deck. He held a cup of warm tea. Outside, stars drifted in silence. Arya looked at him with gentle eyes. Thank you, human. You saved my mother and my people. Jason shook his head. You and your people saved me too. I learned strength and hope here, Arya smiled sadly. We owe you more than words. Jason sipped his tea. We have begun a friendship. That is enough, Arya nodded. She traced her fingertip on the glass. The stars blurred under her touch. Jason studied her. What happens now? Arya turned back. We return to Selene? We heal our land, you will meet our people. Then we forge an alliance. Jason felt excitement. I will stand by you. Arya placed her hand on his. Your world and mine can grow stronger together. Below them, the ship humming softly, Jason thought of Earth. He thought of home. He wondered how life would change after this mission. Selene's royal chamber glowed under pale light. Crystal pillars rose like trees in a forest. The air smelled of cool stone and faint mist. Arya's family and the council had gathered there with Jason and his crew. Queen Sarah stood at the center. She wore simple robes now, free of bindings. She looked at Jason and nodded. Captain Jason Ford, she said in her soft voice, you have shown courage, kindness, and honor. For this, the Selenian crown welcomes you as a friend of our world. Jason bowed. He spoke in clear words. I am honored, Queen Sarah. Humanity offers friendship and hope. We want to learn from your people. Together we can share knowledge and protect each other. The council elders whispered among themselves. One elder, tall and thin, stepped forward. Her eyes were wise and calm. Human captain, she said, our world has magic older than memory. Your people have technology beyond our dreams. If we unite, we can heal old wounds. But you must walk among us, learn our ways, and teach us yours. Jason nodded. I will do so. Queen Sarah motioned to Arya. Child, this alliance needs a bond. I offer you to Captain Jason as our honored guest and ambassador. Arya's violet eyes met Jason's. He felt warmth in his chest. I accept, Arya said in her simple words. But I would walk by his side as equal, Queen Sarah smiled. So it shall be. Jason held out a small box wrapped in cloth. He opened it. To reveal a silver band inscribed with human and Selenian symbols. Will you accept this as an oath of friendship? He asked Arya. Arya took the band and placed it on her wrist. It glowed softly. I accept, she said. She then took Jason's hand. She placed a matching band on his wrist. The crystal pillars shone brighter. A gentle hum filled the chamber. The alliance was sealed. Days later, Jason walked in the gardens of Selene's palace with Arya. The gardens were carved in pale rock. Glowing flowers drifted in the air. Water flowed in clear streams. Arya showed Jason the plants. She touched a flower that glowed pale blue. This is the moon lily, she said. It blooms only under a full moon. It heals wounds and gives strength. I will plant some on Earth. Jason smiled. That will help many. Arya paused by a fountain. She looked into its water. The reflections of stars danced on the surface. Your world will look different to me now, she said softly. Jason felt a pang of sadness. I will miss Selene, Arya turned to him. You will return soon to Earth, but you will come back here. Our bond will last. Jason nodded. We will show our people this friendship. Maybe one day they will visit your world? Arya smiled. They are. Welcome. They sat on a stone bench. Jason spoke of Earth's skies and oceans. Arya spoke of Selene's hidden caves and ancient libraries. They shared stories in simple, clear words. Behind them, the sun set in pale light. The night came quickly on Selene. Stars filled the sky. Jason and Arya stood together. Arya reached out and touched a moon lily petal. For hope? She whispered. Jason took her hand. For friendship. They watched the stars in silence. In the council chamber. Queen Sarah and the elders watched Jason's crew present plans for the alliance. Maya demonstrated a small engine that could power Selene's ships. Lucas showed flight patterns for safe. Travel. Terra spoke with healing mages about combining medicine with crystal magic. Jason stood before the council. He felt pride and purpose. We will send teachers and doctors to Selene, he said. And we will welcome Selenian scholars on Earth. Together, we will build schools and hospitals. We will share art and music. We will stand guard against any who threaten peace. The council nodded. Queen Sarah spoke. Jason Ford, you have changed our world. We honor you as ambassador of peace. May our worlds grow together in harmony. Jason bowed deeply. Thank you, Queen Sarah. I pledge to serve this treaty with all my heart. The elders rose. They placed their hands over their hearts in Selenian. Greeting. Jason felt tears in his eyes. He looked at Arya. She stood proud and calm. He knew their friendship would shape both worlds for generations. A week later, the Starling prepared to depart. Jason and his crew stood on the landing ramp. Arya and Queen Sarah waited below. Jason stepped forward. He faced Arya. I will return soon, he said. Our alliance will grow. Arya nodded. She reached out and held Jason's hands. Farewell for now, friend, she said. Jason smiled. Farewell, princess. He turned to his crew. This is only the beginning. Let's go home. They boarded the Starling. The ramp closed. Engines HUED. Jason looked back through the view screen. Arya stood beside her mother. She waved. Jason lifted his hand. We will meet again. The Starling lifted off. Selene grew smaller behind them. Inside. The crew cheered softly. Jason sat in the captain's chair. He looked at the silver band on his wrist. It glowed faintly. He thought of Earth's blue sky. As the Starling jumped to hyperspace, Jason whispered, for friendship, for hope.